Visit EnglishForEconomists.com and learn about our English classes for anybody who needs to speak about the economy. In today's podcast, we are going to look at what has become a reality for many of you, hybrid work. And by hybrid work, I mean that some of your job you do at your traditional place of work and some of it at home or at some other place. So hybrid work is like a mixed work. As we move into hybrid work, the human resource departments and management in general have a lot of thinking and planning to do. So this might mean you. Hybrid work, that's our topic for today. And as always, let's start with our vocabulary. Workforce. The workforce is the people who are engaged in, who are working or who are ready to work. The workers, the workforce. Workforce. Workplace. Well, that's the place where people work, like an office, a school, or a factory, perhaps. A workplace. Remote work. Remote work, also known as work from home or telecommuting, is a type of flexible working arrangement that allows an employee to work from home or from some other location. Remote work. Pilot program. A pilot program, which you could also call a trial, a pilot program is a small-scale, short-term experiment that helps an organization learn how a project might work. They undertake a pilot program and learn some important lessons and apply that in a greater context. Pilot program. Employee well-being. Employee well-being, well, that is the happiness, the comfort and health of employees. You could also say welfare. For example, when you want to say employee well-being, welfare is a synonym. Employee morale. Well, that's the confidence, the enthusiasm, or the happiness of employees, their morale. Personnel. Personnel are the people employed in an organization. Notice the pronunciation, personnel, not personal, not personal, but personnel. That's a double N-E-L. Well, now that many more people have been vaccinated against COVID-19 and the infection rate has dropped, employers, the people, the company or institution that employ people, the employers, well, the employers are trying to find a new model of work that allows them to get their employees back to the office. So the employers want to get the employees back to the office. Now, for many places of employment, this is still a pilot program. They're trying to learn as they bring people back to work little by little to see what will be acceptable in the future. It's a pilot program. Now, employees, the workers or the workforce, on the other hand, the employees are not always so anxious to return to the traditional workplace. For some, home working has been great. They avoid the traffic, they wear the clothes that they want, and they have found a new kind of independence with their home work. For other employees, though, the opposite is true. They want to go back to the workplace because they feel more comfortable there, or it's better for their morale, for their spirits, for their mood, for their morale. So it's a complicated problem. And again, a pilot program is the best way to see what will work long term. Now, for the employers, well, they've been very busy. They've had to manage now two important shifts of their workforce. First, they moved people away from the office into their homes at the start of the pandemic, and now back from the homes to the office. The human resource departments, also known, by the way, as personnel departments, the human resource departments, or the personnel managers, are asking themselves some very important questions about the productivity of their workers and also their morale, of course. So worker productivity, their morale, and of course the potential cost savings of having workers stay at home. That can really be an important cost saving for the employer. So there's a lot going on and a lot to think about. One of the issues, again, is cost and the cost of running a home office. And some employers will begin to reimburse their workers for the money they spend on the setup of their home office. And by reimburse, I mean they will return the money, they will give the money to the workers for the setup and the maintenance of their home office. You're paying for internet, you're paying more light bill, and you're using space in your home that has a cost and it has a value. So that's one issue that employers are thinking about. Well, among other things, personnel departments or the human resource departments are thinking about a few questions. I wonder what you think about these issues. Do you think that the work relationship has changed between employees during the remote working phase? So the way employees work together and interact, has that changed over the course of the past year and a half? How will that change be felt when employees begin to meet again? And the second question is, will the adoption of a hybrid workplace affect men and women the same way? Please review the vocabulary and then think about these questions. That way you put the vocabulary to work, and that's a great way to remember it. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me for this episode of English for Economists. Well, you can find the English for Economists podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher. It's also published on our webpage, and that is also a great place to contact me if you are interested in taking classes. So that is EnglishForEconomists.com.